So stop saying that behind every successful man is a woman. That is a lie from the pit of hell. It is not scriptural. When God was going to create the woman, he didn't take the bone from behind. He didn't take the bone from the head. He took the bone from the side. I feel it was the left ventricle. So it is beside every successful man, there is a woman. Behind a successful man is a stupid woman. What are you doing behind? What are you doing behind? Stand beside the man. Fan him to flame. Encourage his heart. And the man should do the same for the woman. You brought me here to speak on marriage. So let's hit the ground running.
Do you know what makes a good marriage and a good relationship? Reverend FUNKE FELIX-ADEJUMO is about to educate us on this topic. It's for married and singles. So listen and learn.
Marriage is many things to many people. To some people, it is a necessary evil. To some people, it's a formal relationship in which a woman should give birth to children. To some people, it is a servant-master relationship. To some people, it is, let's just do it because everybody is doing it. But we are believers and the Bible rules our lives. Marriage is neither African nor Western. Marriage is biblical. Marriage is a gift of God and a gift from God to humanity. In the African culture, the core African culture, there is nothing called marriage. A woman is only sin. That is Eve, and where she sinned and never had. That's why a man can marry 5 wives, a man can marry 19 wives, a man can marry as many as possible, and when he feels like it, he can send any of them out. And I'm so sorry to say, it's pathetic that even though some men are born again, tongue talking, heaven bound, but they still need deliverance from that aspect of the African culture and mentality where the woman is nothing. And it's a pity that some of them are in ministry. If every time, please come my sister, if every time you and your wife are going and you leave her behind, you need deliverance. You're always in the front and the woman is running to catch up with you. I don't care how anointed you are, you need help. When last did you open the car door for your wife? When last did you wake up in the middle of the night and you woke your wife up to thank her for bearing with you? Who would have married you 15, 20, 25 years ago with all your idiosyncrasies? When last did you wake your wife up in the dead of the night? Not because you want sex, but to just say, I just want to thank you. You made life simple for me. You made ministry easy for me. I know you're not perfect, but I want to bless you today. When last did you leave a check under the pillow for your wife? Not her birthday, not wedding anniversary, just to thank her. When last did you finish having sex with your wife and you thanked her instead of Can I be real? I'm going to quote the scriptures, but I'm not here to stand by pastors that don't know how to handle their wives. All they know is the book of Hebrews to the book of Zephaniah. Let's be real. You want to be successful in ministry, maybe you need to add this. A lot of pastors' wives are in pain. Because pastors can be polygamists. You are married to the church that Jesus gave you, and you're married to your wife. I remember reading about Yonggi Cho, one of his books. He said one day the Lord said to him, I'm going to take my bride from you because you don't know how to take care of your bride. When you look at the Bible, marriage was founded, quote and unquote, in the book of Genesis. The church was born in the book of Exodus, in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, the church was born when Jesus' body was pierced. But in the Old Testament, marriage preceded the church. Please listen to me. Few minutes that I have to spend with you today. I have prayed and I trust God that it will be about destiny. This is the order according to God's counsel. God first, you next, your family life before the church or the business. Because pastor, you will not sleep on the altar, all things being equal. If you don't take care of your home, there are pastors' children that don't want to serve their God. Because we do not know how to set these priorities in place. And can I shock you, like my husband would say, don't die for the church. The person that could die for the church already died for the church. If you die for the church, you have only died in vain. And there is nobody that cannot leave your ministry. Don't be deceived. You are not El Shaddai, else you shall die. Sir, we'll be with you forever. We are here to stay. Lie. Tomorrow they will come and tell you they just gained admission to Australia. They are leaving. The only person that cannot leave you is your spouse. Even your children will leave. They'll go get married. Recently, I was walking through our house and I said, why did we even build this big house? What were we thinking about Jesus? These children, they are gone. Canada, America, this one, where are they? That's the truth. And I'm going to show you an illustration. Whether you are a pastor, whether you are married or not, I'm talking to you today. Please plan for the evening of your life so that you will not be lonely. And as pastors, we need to think, because sometimes it can be a thankless job. You kill yourself, you labor, you study. You think it's easy to preach for 1 hour. Did you see how many times your GO wiped his face when he was preaching? Just to bless you. Those things, he already knows them. If he doesn't tell us, he's fine. He's doing. We see God in his life. But just to bless us. Did you see the way he was sweating? Scientists have discovered that what he just did for 1 hour is like you are carrying cement and loading it in a trailer. That's why it is evil for you to dishonor your pastor. It is unkind. Daddy, where are you? I'm at the hospital. My daughter is dying. Daddy wanted to sleep with mommy. Generator just packs up. Him, he's running to go and meet you there. You know what I mean by generator? And yet some of you will still abuse the mommy. Some of you will still abuse the pastor. Some of you will still talk against their children, laboring with their lives. And you'll be abusing them with your fingers or with your mouth. It's evil. It's unfair. Because if he had been working for Shell or Chevron, will he not have access to the things that he has access to? And then you think it's church money. Rubbish. Let's not even go there. So please, set the priorities. These are the 5 most important things in your life. Number 1, God. Number 2, you. You are not inferior to anybody. God is the most important. God did not create a world in which he will not be needed. There is a vacuum in the heart of every human being that is God-shaped. Only God can fill it. Therefore, I don't want to assume. If you are not yet born again, give your heart to Jesus. And when I'm closing, I'll be privileged to lead you to Calvary today. That's the most important thing that can happen to you. I got born again 44 years ago. The only regret I have is I wish I had been born again in my mother's womb. That is when your true life starts. God is the most important. Number 2 is you. Job chapter number 12 and verse number 3. What you know, I know. I am not inferior to you. Job chapter 13 and verse 2. You can't forget that. Job 12:3, Job 13:2. What you know, I know. I am not inferior to you. You are not inferior to anybody. You are primary to you. I'm taking you somewhere. You are primary to you. If you understand that, you will not marry an unbeliever as a believer. If you understand that, you will not go ahead to marry someone that slapped you while you were in courtship. If you understand what I'm talking about, you are primary to you. Every other relationship is secondary. Low self-esteem is a sickness. Your background does not mean your back should be on the ground. It doesn't matter how you were born. That's not what is important. Not at all. As the head girl in my secondary school, for 2 weeks I would not be able to go to school because of less than $1. Look at it today. I don't even know how many children I'm sponsoring in school. So the point is, when you meet with the Lord Jesus Christ, he turns the ladder around. Don't sacrifice your life on the altar of marriage. It is not marriage that completes anybody. Hear me very well, and it is not heresy. If you are an incomplete human being, you will meet and marry an incomplete human being, and you will have an incomplete marriage. What is important, more important in marriage, is for you to be the right person. Water will always find its level. Don't let any man sleep with you before he marries you. If any man tells you, until I sleep with you, I cannot marry you, he's a bicycle. Wait for your Bentley. I don't care what goes on in the world. When we're newly born again, if the strap of your bra shows, you'll be feeling bad. These days you see cleavages, you see skirts, you see, this is not how they raised us. And we need to start changing the trajectory of Christianity. I like the word switch. Let's begin to be decent in our dressing. I'm not giving any excuse for rape. You cannot say you raped me because you saw my cleavage. That's nonsense. You will end up in jail. But I'm talking about integrity, dignity, decency. Nature teaches decency. That's what the book of Corinthians tells us. You are important. It doesn't matter who has said what about you. You are very important. Don't hand over the driver's seat of your life to anybody. Don't use sex as a trap, thinking a man will marry you if you sleep with him. There is no man that does not want to be a hunter. If you give it to him on a platter of gold, he will abuse you. Men were created to hunt. Men want to look forward to something. But you go to his house, you must cook, you must wash, because you want him to marry you, and you think you are 34. God comes late when he wants to come big. And everything I'm sharing with you as singles, I will share with singles, and then I will move to married, and then I take my leave. It's based on Genesis chapter 24. We see the prototype of how you should select your marriage partner. So I said 5 things are important. God is the most important. You are next. Then your family relationship. That's the center of gravity. Better don't marry than marry wrongly. I know what I'm talking about. Better live your life as a single person till the Lord Jesus comes than miss it in marriage. Marriage determines a lot. Forget it. There is no way your GO will have succeeded if he has issues with his marriage. It is the reality. That's how it runs. Better stay single than marry the wrong person. So your family is important. Number 4 is your career. Your career. And number 5, relationships. Each of these is a seminar topic, but I'm not going into them today. I'm sticking to marriage. In Genesis chapter 24, we see the prototype So number one, those of you that are single and you are not yet married, please hear me very well. Marry from your tribe. When I say tribe, I'm not talking about Yoruba or Hausa or Igbo. No. If you are born again, 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 14. If you are born again, the problem of marriage is half solved. Marry from your tribe. Genesis 24, Abraham said to the servants, go back and get a wife for my son. The man said, if the woman will not, he said, then you are free. But that's where. Go. Do not marry someone that has nobody you can report him or her to. Don't marry anybody that tells you, I don't fear nobody. It's a danger on two legs. Don't think we are stupid when we honor people. When I see Mommy Adeboye and I kneel down, or you see Baba Yedeko prostrating for his mentors, don't think we are stupid. That is your brake system. Any car that does not have a brake system is prone to accidents. Luke chapter number 1, beginning from verse number 26. As soon as Mary understood what she was carrying, she did 6 major things. She went uphill to Judah, entered Zachariah's house, and saluted Elizabeth. Elizabeth, a mentor, a matriarch who was equally pregnant. Let me just pause to say this. There are 3 kinds of people you must run away from. Number 1, expired mentors. Saul wanted to kill David. Let's not go into that. Number 2, competitive or jealous colleagues. Number 3, parasitic proteges. All they do is name dropping. Expired mentors. They are not comfortable with your rising. You preach a message, they cannot even thank God for you. Mary went to Elizabeth. Everybody needs an Elizabeth. Who is an Elizabeth? Someone that is equally pregnant. Someone that understands ministry, like, Daddy Gio was talking about a few minutes ago. Someone that understands ministry, that understands the terrain. One of the reasons we could listen to him and be blessed is because we know that he understands what he's saying. We are in this. So when he gives an example, we know what he was talking about. You need a mentor. I'm not talking of somebody's picture that you will put on your screen in your house. Kenetegi is my mentor that you don't even have access to. Locate someone that is secure, that is equally pregnant, that understands how it feels to have morning sickness. Someone you can call and say, my husband just committed adultery. I don't know what to do. And that person will counsel with you, pray with you, and still watch you preach without judging you. I'm not talking about mentors that are tormentors. I'm not talking about mentors that all they need is money from you. I'm not talking about mentors that are not secure. Proverbs chapter 4 and verse number 18. The Message translation says, the longer you live, the brighter you will shine. That's the word of the Lord. Mentors that want you to increase. I don't care what anybody has done for me in life. I'm grateful. I'm a worshiper. I'm a grateful person. But there is no honor I will give to any human being on earth, including my spiritual parents, if I have not given it to my husband. Because when I did not believe in myself, he fanned me to flame. When I didn't know that I could become anything, he possibilitized my mentality. I said to him, even if you cough in church, I will be blessed because you live what you preach. I said, you are the picture of the future I want for my boys. You live what you preach. Some of you forget the people that held your hands when nobody will have touched you with the longest of poles. Now you have arrived. Let me tell you something. Don't tell me you are humble until some things are in your life. like money, wealth, power, position. And you can still kneel down to greet the people you used to kneel down to greet. You can see courtesy. They can still call you and you will run there. Don't tell me you are humble. And say this, there's a man in our church, he's very humble, even though he's poor. What else will he be? What else? When a person like Dr. Lemo shows humility, hey, you know what I'm talking about. When a person like the GO, you know what I'm talking about. Don't tell me I'm a very humble person. Let's see first to get to the position first. Have access to power and money and wealth. And let's see if we can still call you to order.
From this powerful teaching from Reverend FUNKE FELIX-ADEJUMO, he said, it's not behind every successful man there is a woman. He said, no. It is beside, not behind. What an insight. I know you have learned this today. Before you listened to this message, I don't think you know this before now. That is not behind, that is beside. That if it is behind every successful woman, every successful man, that means that is a stupid woman. What a teaching. What a teaching. This is an eye-opener for me. It is behind, it is beside, not behind. Wow. Marriage is an institution. It is something that needs to be balanced. He says something about a man waking up his wife at midnight, not to ask for sex, but to say thank you for being a good wife. I learned that today, and I know you do. Share this message, share this teaching with your friends, share it with your colleagues, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to comment and like this video. You will always be the first to receive our latest video. Thank you.